Hi everyone, this is Ajay here. The last time across, I spoke regarding child to parent communication, right? In this video, I'll be talking about parent to child communication in EmberJS, right? So let's take up a scenario where you have a parent controller or a controller which needs to talk to its components API, right? Similarly, you would have a scenario where a parent component needs to talk to its child components API. So how is this possible? So we'll try to solve this problem using set API. What is a set API? Set API sets the value of a property on an object, right? So we would be actually passing the child component's property reference to the parent component, and the child component would notify the parent component whenever there's a change, and the parent component's property would get updated, right? So let's jump onto the application. Here we'll try to solve a scenario where parent 1 needs to talk to his child 1's API. Right? Similarly, child 1 needs to talk to the child 2's API. So how is this possible? So let's get to the code. Okay, cool. So we spoke regarding the scenario parent 1 needs to talk to the child 1's API, right? So let's write an API here called call me. That's an action, call me. So what this would do is, it will just alert child 1 call. Good. Perfect. This is the API which we need to trigger from parent 1, right? And how do we do this? First thing is, we need to, I'll just try and hit insert, say underscore assembly is a private API, right? So on did insert element. Okay, good. So what I'm trying to do is, once the element that is a DOM, the component is inserted into the DOM, we would have a property, right, this that say child 1 context, that is this context will be passing to the property child 1, right? So, so we got this. Now we need to pass the child 1 context to the parent 1, right? How, how do we do this? So we'll go to parent 1.hps. So what we would be doing is child 1 is here. We would say child 1 context equal to, so this is the reference to what we were talking in child 1.js, right? So this we would be mapping to child context. Child context is a property in parent 1.js, right? So I'll just set the child context property initially to null, and let's call this API, right? So we'll have an action called child as an API. This intern should call child. I'll say this dot get. So I'm going to get the child context over here, and I'm going to say, hey, I got a child context now. So I would need to call one of the API that is in child1.js called call me, right? So how does it work? So we need to say send, and I need to pass which action I need to call here. I say call me. Cool. So we are done with this process. Let's go to the app and check. Okay. I just forgot about the event part. I didn't pass any event assets now. So let me go here and see. I'll just do a default click event, and I'll try to call the call child API. So this insurance should call child, and I set bubbles equal to false, so it doesn't have an event document. Okay. Let me go to the code and just click on parent 1. Awesome. Parent 1 was able to call child 1. Ah, we got this working, right? So let me recap once more, right? So what we did here is, in child1.js, that's a components.js, I just went ahead and on did insert element, I just had a property called child1context where I pass a whole context, that is a whole components context, right? And this context reference was passed in the XPS. So child1 context is what we refer to child1.js, and child context is the property what we referred in parent1.js. And this property gets updated once child1 context property updates, right? That is how we got this reference of child1 context, right? So I can also make sure that I'll just pass what is the APIs which are required, right? I can also grab whatever the necessary APIs and I can pass the necessary APIs also, right? So let me try to pass some data and see whether the data passing also works. So send is an API where I can pass a name which I need to trigger and also the context, right? I can pass data here. So calling random data. Okay. And let me try to pass this data to the child. Now we check. Now, awesome. I got the random data from the parent one, right? So we were able to do parent to child communication, right? We'll try to do a child 1 to child 2 so you get a better understanding, right? So we'll go to child 2.js, right? Similarly, what I would have is call me is an API. It says alert child 2 call. Perfect. I need to call this API, right? So once the DOM is inserted, so on div insert, on the DOM is inserted, we would have a context this dot set child to context to this, right? So now what I need to do is go to child1.hps. So here we have the child2 component, right? So we just need to say, hey, I'm just going to hold child2 context and I say, hey, I need to, I would say child context, right? So let me go to child1.js. Currently I don't have child1 context as a property, so I would say child context, right? Child context as a property. I'll just set this property value to be null. Cool, I got this. Now let me have an API here called child. This would basically get child context, and I would need to call me API of child context. Awesome. So let me go to the child1 HPS and have a click event to trigger this. So let's say call child, and let me just say properties false, so we don't have any event property, right? So let me just go to child1 and hit the child1 element, right? Awesome, I was able to call child2. Similarly, if I click parent1, parent1 is able to call child1's API. So we were able to solve the parent to child communication. So that's it about this video. Hope you liked it.